to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, Mr. Bartlett.
Yes, I am here.
Dr. Lewis.
I'm here.
Mrs. Rankin.
I'm here.
Mr. York.
Here.
All right. I need a motion and a second to excuse Leah and Susan.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Ms. Gelb, well, not here. Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, we'll excuse them. Now, what we want to do here is talk for 1 second because we don't have 5 members here tonight and we had an emergency that we were going to pass. We won't be able to do that. I would like to get the consensus here with you all. What day works this week for a special meeting? It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes.
Are you talking about evening or?
Yeah, we're sort of shooting for like maybe, say, Thursday at 5:30.
I cannot do Thursday.
Okay, how about Wednesday?
I can do
Can you
Wednesday.
do 5 o'clock on Wednesday?
Yes.
Ooh, I can't do that early. I can probably do like 5:30 or 6.
Okay, you could do 6 on Wednesday. Is that
Yeah.
good with?
Or
with every-
5:30, you said?
5:30.
I
or
can't
6.
do, I can't do 5:30.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, but I can do 6.
All right, I can do 6.
Wednesday, the 25th, 6 bells.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
So we're gonna run. We'll wear our tennis attire and go straight over.
That's
Oh,
okay, I mean, because,
We got a 6:30. Randy and I have a hard stop because we have a 6:30.
okay, well, so if we're here at 6 on Wednesday, I will move it along and we'll get out of here in time for you to,
How many things we got to vote on? Just a couple? Two? One or
well,
two?
we have the emergency for Richard Ford
Yeah.
and then Marcy's committee report.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Sounds good.
so 15 minutes.
Okay. Put it in.
You're going to reach out to Leah and Susan to see
I will
if
pass
one
this
or both
information
of
along, that one of them has got to show up, yes.
Right.
Okay, all right, so I'll make a note on that. All right, has everybody read the minutes from the last meeting?
I'm so irritated, I can't
Yes.
really discern.
Any
whether
questions
it's
on the minutes?
physiological or emotional.
Nope.
Good with the minutes?
Good with the
Yeah.
minutes.
Go with the minutes.
I'm good with the minutes, all right, a motion, please, second.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin,
Sorry,
Aye.
I'm not used to
Wonder
going
what that
second.
Mr.
is.
York.
Aye.
All right, we'll accept those minutes. All right, in communications tonight, because we have a rather light schedule there,
We'll find a way.
we'll find a way. Chris, are you going to give us a little presentation or a little talk regarding the grant, the loan money?
Yes.
No.
So you all received a memo, I think it was on Saturday, so thank you for your attention. So last October, the village applied for a grant to resurface Hiawatha Avenue. The grant was not successful, but the granting agency, the Ohio Public Works Commission, has come back and offered us a loan in that same amount. So that's what I'm here to at least present to you guys and then take questions. The loan amount is $99,000. The entire project is estimated at $220,000. We would get $40,000 from the Municipal Road Fund, another granting agency separately. That's confirmed. And then the village would have to put in $81,000 to make the project work. So,
$81,000 to make a $220,000 project work.
Correct.
But we would have to accept a $99,000, it's a 20-year loan.
yep, 0%
Interest-free, well,
interest-free loan from the Ohio Public Works Commission. Correct.
okay. Okay. And
Is
then, in terms of accepting that or applying for that, is that, you need the okay from us tonight just basically to apply for this?
Well, we've already applied for the grant.
Yes.
So they're coming back and say, would you like a loan instead? I don't need an answer tonight. We'll probably need an answer in the next 2 weeks because they realize we have to go to a public body and see what you guys want to do and take it back. And then if we would say yes, we would get the contract, we would get the agreement in July. And then we could proceed with the project as however we deem. We could put out the construction this year and try to build it in the fall. We could wait till maybe prices are better next year, bid it on October, take it over. Or if it's something where we don't want to expend the capital at all, we could turn it down and then just reapply for the same thing next year, maybe go through the same thing again.
Okay.
Get the grant, great. If we don't get the grant, maybe we'll offer a loan, maybe take the loan. But I wanted to put it out there for you.
Yeah, yeah. So it seems to me, if I'm understanding this correctly, then if we go ahead and we let him proceed with getting the loan, or
Well, this
positioning
was
us-
actually in Public Works. You know,
Yeah,
we
I
had the
think that we
conversation
need to
about this,
refer
right?
this to Public
Public
Works
Works.
Committee.
Because we actually talked about this, that's why we applied for that, was because Public Works
Right.
asked you
Yeah,
to
but
do
it's,
that.
it's slightly changed now. I mean, we didn't get the grant, now that we're
Right,
offering a
right.
loan. I mean, the
Right.
Right,
conversation's
so
changed.
to me, it should go back to Public Works because they're the
Right.
ones who originated this, and so to say, okay, so now what do we do?
Okay.
I
What's
think
the
you agree with that,
Right,
Chris,
and
based
then
on our
Public Works.
conversation.
There'll be
Yeah,
enough
Make a
time for that?
recommendation. Was this on our original list?
2 weeks.
yeah. I can email the gentleman tomorrow and make sure we've got enough time to do that. But yes, usually these things take a couple of weeks just because we've got to go back to a
3 weeks
body.
between council. Council meeting in
3 weeks?
13.
Oh,
there's-
gotcha.
We're
Okay.
on a 3-week,
When you
yeah.
get a 3-week break.
Right. So it's a 3-week break. I mean, we'll still be good?
I believe so. I mean, usually they offer these things and they're usually good for at least a month. But let me go back and check with them tomorrow to make sure.
you guys-
But, I mean,
for you guys to-
because I've got to get your okay. I can't do this unilaterally,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, okay.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a, interest-free loan, 20 years. Is there any kind of penalty for if you paid it early?
No.
I mean, not that you'd want to if you don't have to pay it, but,
It's however you guys would like to run the shop. Yes, we
Okay.
could take the loan, build the project this year, next year. When we get the first installment payment, we could pay the whole thing off and just be done with it. That is an option.
That's a good question.
I don't know why you'd want to do that, but,
well, I'm just.
It's good to know.
I just want to know if there's a
Yeah.
penalty.
yeah, we can talk about it in the
I mean,
committee.
So Public Works, yeah, just
Yeah.
so.
I wouldn't
Okay,
think
so we're
there
gonna
would be
refer
since it's
that.
interest-free,
Okay.
but who knows?
Okay, Chris, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
You take your toys and you leave now.
I promised he could get out of here.
No, he has a toy.
He's going while the
He has
getting's
a
good.
toy.
He's going while the getting's good.
All right, permission to address council. Yeah.
Move that.
Bill, remind him.
Hi, my name's, is this on?
I don't think so.
I'll just holler.
No, it's
No,
on
they're
downstairs.
picking- they're
It's
probably
on
picking
downstairs.
it
It
up
doesn't project
downstairs.
up here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my name's Mary Alice Mays. I live at 6734 Chestnut Street.
Okay, I'm sorry, your time is already up.
You next?
That's what the beeping is. It sounds just like my microwave.
Yep.
It does say 3 minutes.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, that's all right. Okay, I came tonight because a neighbor had told me that the ordinance about the fences is on for a third reading tonight. And I was here last year in July, and I didn't realize that the meetings had been going on because when I came to the meeting last year, it was ordinance 151.04. And everything that was posted just said ordinance 151. So I thought that that was a different section than the section about, I guess I'll phrase it as the fences in the historic district, the chain link fencing. Is that what's up for vote tonight?
I believe, yes, the chain link fences, I'm trying to find it here myself.
Okay, I'll wait.
Don't dock that into our 3 minutes. Please.
Has anybody else got a copy of that?
Yeah.
51.
Oh, fences and walls, yep.
Oh, yeah, fences, yeah, here we go.
Okay. Did you find it, everybody?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So when I looked at the council meetings and the committee meetings about it, it just stated the fences, the ordinance 151. It didn't have 151.04, and I probably should have pursued that further. But considering the initial thing was listed under the previous 151.04 on the agenda when I came in July, I assumed that it was something else to do with fences. That's okay. So, and I think I got a little bit confused because there were the fences in the historic district, which is predominantly the chain link fence. Then there was fences on corner properties that seemed like a separate thing. So I'm here about the chain link fences in the historic district, and I wanted to get a little information before you vote so that I can understand, I guess, where residents can go from here with regard to that ordinance about making the chain link fences go away. What's the plan if property owners choose not to take their fences down and replace them?
Well, it would
At their own
depend,
cost.
a lot of it would depends upon the condition of the fence and why it is you would be seeking to do something with the fence. I mean, if the fence is in disrepair and you wish to, repair it, I believe there's a percentage in here, something about, depending upon the percentage of fence that would need to be repaired, if it's beyond a certain, like if 25% of the fence is bad and you're wishing to repair that, you can't do that. You have to basically get rid of the fence and replace it with something else, another type of acceptable fence.
Okay, and the types of acceptable fence have already been approved, correct?
Yes, I mean, the types of acceptable fences that are good at within the historic district have been fairly well established and are in place. But remember, should you desire to put up a fence that's not a recognizable, acceptable fence, you can always come before the ARB, come in with samples of it, present it to us, and a decision would be made whether or not you'd be given a variance on that particular type of fence that you wanted to put up.
So to make sure I understand, if the chain link fences on a property are in okay shape
And you're not doing anything to it,
and it can just stay there,
yes, until
Okay.
such a time that
That-
it needs to be repaired and the repair is beyond,
that percentage?
a certain percentage, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't find it right this
That's
second.
okay.
Either.
But
Well, this particular ordinance doesn't cover actually taking down current chain link fences. I think that's perhaps where the
The 151.04
confusion was there was
versus the
one
151.
conversation regarding all chain link fences having to come down,
Mm-hmm.
period. And there was a lot,
well, yeah, as I
but that
understand,
is not called out in this particular ordinance here.
no, yeah.
Okay.
Do you
If
want a copy of this, Mary Alice?
I
I'm
would
happy to
love
give
it.
you this.
I see this up here,
That
but it
might be
just-
where, what she's talking, the 151.04.
Right, which is not,
It came
That talks
before all
about that construction
the
of
new,
new fences.
right, this is not,
This is construction
Trying
of
to get
new
you all the
fences, so it doesn't say anything about old fences.
right, so if your concern is being forced to take it down, that's not what we're talking about tonight. Have that if you want it, it gives you an idea what, no, trust me, I can get more.
Just FYI for people as well, we post on the website any proposed
pending.
legislation that's being voted on. So it's also available there if you want to look at it.
Correct. And I did look at it, but as I said, I was confused between what was going on last year with the 151.04 versus 151 tonight. So it's two separate issues, is my understanding.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And let me, for clarification as well, should you have a chain link fence that is in disrepair, but however, you don't think it is or you don't wish to do anything with it, the building commissioner at that point might send you a letter saying the fence has reached a certain point and it either has to be repaired if it's not beyond that percentage, or it has to be taken down and replaced.
Right.
Okay,
That is a possibility,
okay, that makes a sense.
yeah.
And then I had one more question. Wait, did you reset that again, or is it possessed?
No, you had 10
Oh,
seconds.
we've had some interruptions here. Go ahead.
I had a question about something that I had heard through the grapevine in the historic district, and I wasn't really sure about it. Were individual property owners or management companies incentivized to put the parking pads behind their buildings when the fences were removed? Because I was told they were.
No,
No,
there's no,
no.
we had talked about.
There was
Looked into
discussion
it. We
about
But it
did
is
discuss
not-
it about whether we should do it, but we never
We did not.
Okay.
We
So
we
that's
chose not
just-
to.
Right.
Heard it through the grapevine rumor mill.
The
Yes.
original pads that you saw that we were modeling some of the other pads off of that were put in by one of the landlords, that was done entirely at his expense.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
alrighty.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, thank you for your time.
Sure.
Sorry you had
thanks for coming.
beeper difficulties.
No comment?
For my address, because I was going to address the chain link fence as well.
Sure.
So you answered the question, if you're not voting on that, then it's fences that stay. If they're in good repair, can stay. Then that's
Right.
my-
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Until such time, they would fall into disrepair. Right, so, yeah.
But if we,
If it's in good repair now, and things are fine, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're good.
thank you, folks.
All right, anyone else? Permission to address council?
I do.
You do, please?
Maureen.
Well, could you stand up, please, and,
How about we pull that thing out a little bit? It's a
yep.
little-
Do you want to pull it around for a little
move the
bit?
chair
Rob, do you want
back.
to push it around a little bit, or?
Well, it's not so bad when there's only one person
is
over there,
official,
when
huh?
there's three.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, it's,
That's
there's no
probably
one's really
fine.
sitting here but you, it's just a matter, it was a courtesy to you, Rob. Are you,
Sorry.
all right, please, let her speak, please.
My name is Maureen Heidi. I am a resident of Marymount. I graduated from Marymount High School in 1983.
Good for
I
you.
have a true love for this village and our community. And I live over at 6727 Maple Street. I've lived there for 5.5 years with my 2 children. My daughter graduated from Marymount last year. And time's up.
Oh, you're good.
Okay, so basically, the reason I came, they just told me that there was a meeting tonight, like a half an hour ago, and I wanted to present, my vision, because I truly believe that the village has kind of lost sight of that. I think they're so truly focused on, fences and things like this when the buildings are falling down. I personally know pretty much every building, every townhome, on Maple Street and Chestnut, and I can tell you that I think you should be more worried about the townhomes burning down versus fences coming down. 100%. And I tell you what, if something does happen to those townhomes, I will stand up in front of whoever I can to let them know that I told you so, because this is ridiculous. And also, besides that, you allowed CMC properties, Dana properties, and let's see who else. I think that's all, and then a couple other ones to just tear down these fences. And you know how they did it? They basically used these, what do you call those things? Not backhoes, they're, what do you call it? Huh? Bobcats.
Bobcats?
They used bobcats.
Just pulled them
And
out.
they literally just dug everything up, everyone's bushes that we personally planted, spent our own money on,
Right.
and they left gigantic poles sticking out that kids can fall on, all sorts of things. And then this past year, and also, not only that, they've cut down, I think, probably like 15 trees. And just last December, they wanted to cut down this tree next to me. And I
You're
told them,
talking on Maple now? On
yes,
Maple?
on
Yeah,
Maple,
okay.
Maple
Okay,
Street,
just wanted to be clear.
6727.
Okay.
And CMC property owns, not mine, but the unit next to me. And they said, this tree needs to come down, it's a nuisance. I'm like, well, what about the tree right next to the building? And they said, oh, well, we can't cut that down because we need a certified, I asked them, I said, do you have a certified arborist doing this one? And have they looked at that tree to see if it's actually dead? And have you received a permit? They go, oh, yes, we have. And no, they have not received a permit. And I emailed several council members along with the mayor. No one returned my emails at all. No one cared. And then one day I come home and all my cafe lights are down and half of them are working. And because CMC cut down another tree next to me, a little small one, and by someone who had no idea what they were doing. And they basically ripped down my lights and they still have never replaced them. And so last December, I'm working at home, I'm a nurse, and I hear this noise and I come out and they're cutting down this gigantic tree right next to me. And the tree, it's the last tree, it's a lone tree on the street. And it basically, they didn't care. And Belinda, I even sent every messages to all of you and no one responded. They took down this beautiful tree that housed, there's this owl that's out there, squirrels, birds, this is horrible. It is. And so they did. I was about to become one of those crazy people and tie myself to the tree. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this, okay? And so I'm like, fine, just take it down. So they took it down. Meanwhile, they still left the stump and this big metal post that's sticking out, that anybody can, like if you're running in the middle of the night chasing maybe my cat that's running away, who knows? And then, but they still leave all this, yard waste all over their yards. Nobody cares. But you're so worried about the fences on people you know, on Nancy, who creates a beautiful oasis every year. And so I'm just going to say one more thing. And besides that, if you look down Maple, behind, you know, the yards behind a Maple, there's like zero privacy, none.
Okay.
And the fences that they do want to put up are dog-eared fences. Cheap dog-eared fences that will fall apart in just a few years.
Ma'am,
That's it.
Let me make
Yeah.
a suggestion here. You've given a lot of information here tonight, and I've taken some of it down.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, or I apologize that I either didn't see your emails or that no one responded to you. What I want to do, though, is I want to discuss this with Rod Holloway, our building commissioner, and you know, review some of the trees that were taken down, especially
Yeah.
ones that possibly weren't taken down with permits, because you do need a permit to take down
Right.
large trees. Let me review this information, talk with him, and I promise you, I'll get back to you.
That would be great. And I personally would like CMC and any property that has taken down an unnecessary tree to replace it in those yards. You know, that should be mandated.
Are they trees in yards or are they street trees?
No, they're in the yards. Yes, absolutely, in the
Okay,
yards.
'cause-
That's private
Yeah, because
property.
that's private property, so the
do
council
that.
doesn't have any jurisdiction over that.
So they have the right to just take down whatever they want?
Well,
Yeah, on private
not,
property.
well, on private, well, no, they still need permits. I mean, they
But
would
this is
need
a historic
permit.
district. I think there's rules that kind of should apply. You know, not only so they have certified people to take them down, so they don't destroy the
Right,
historic properties.
okay.
You know, and I just think, you know, we, in Marymount, we have our own ordinances. Why can't we make that up? You know?
Let me review the
Yeah,
information. Let me
okay.
talk to Mr. Holloway.
that would be great.
And review it, and I will get back to you.
Yeah, and then, in addition, you know how I spoke about the dog-eared fences? If you look at what Dana Properties has done with their fences, and I've sent you guys, actually, the privacy fences that Dana has, they are beautiful. They are, I think they have like a 30-year warranty, and they're not gonna come down. They're gorgeous brown, they're beautiful. And I send this to you guys because you want uniform. Those fences, privacy fences, should be uniform across the whole thing.
Okay.
They cost more, but if you go through the main company, and you can get actually a big discount, like 30% off.
Well, again,
Okay?
Maureen,
So that's it.
if you could send that information at least to me, I'm Marcy Lewis, because I'm on the ARB.
Yeah.
And the MPF is working really hard. We're trying to coordinate, so we have a set of standards.
Uh-huh.
So that if somebody wants to replace a fence in the historic district, they
Yes.
can come to this resource and we can say, these are acceptable. So if you could provide that with me again, I will make sure that gets to the appropriate people and,
Yeah.
you know, because we're working really hard to tie up some of those loose ends, but so much has gone, and, you know, we change over and.
I know.
But we really are trying, and,
Yeah,
and thank you for coming forward and
Yes,
sharing
you're
your
welcome.
concerns.
And I'll email you.
My sister used to live on Maple Street way back in the 80s, so.
Yes, thank you.
I'd like to ask, I don't know if anyone else got the email that you had sent, had you?
How long ago did you send these
Yeah.
emails?
Well, it had to be, it was December when they took down my tree. And so it was December.
I don't recall.
I
That's
don't-
okay.
My
I
bad.
mean, I know
A lot of
everyone's
emails
busy
come
and,
through and.
yeah.
I missed it.
Sometimes
May I
things,
ask,
Okay, yes.
if you go to the village's website, it has all of our current emails on there. So, I mean, if you're gonna resend it to Marcy, maybe copy all of us on it. So
Okay.
we do have it.
I can do that.
And-
Okay, that'd be great.
the other thing too is before, when Kelly and I were first reelected, we were using Gmail accounts, and when we were told we needed to use Marymount.org accounts. So every once in a while, something will go to my old account and I won't see it. And that was published in the Town Crier, and then, you know, it was updated, but still, every once in a while, I have to go back and check, and there's something I didn't see. Because of juggling.
But they're all .org on the website, right?
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah,
correct.
they're all-
All
correct.
the current,
Yeah, they're
All the ones
listed.
on the website are up to date, so,
Thank you so much for your time.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Anyone else? No? All right. All right, everybody, any question regarding the bills this month? Anything anything on there that you want to ask about, question about?
I'd like to check it, because John, there's the thing, the tree trimming. I thought we, oh, that was in the notes, I'm sorry, that was in the meeting notes for last meeting. Because he says it was put into the permanent improvement fund, but I don't remember us putting in the large amount that he had in there. So Tony, I'll just follow
No,
up
we
with you.
didn't. We only had over 20,000 for new trees, not for any trimming.
Yeah, so 60,000, he said in here, had been set aside. I don't think
No,
that's
it
right.
was, it's like 20.
Yeah, so we should loop back with John on that, I think.
Okay, not going to like that loop back.
Well, he had money put
I
into
know,
his
I
budget
know,
for it.
yeah.
That's we set the money up there for it.
All right, any other
And
questions?
on the trees for the village, does the tree board pay us back for those? I'm not sure if these are street trees or,
Whoa, what do you mean, do they pay us back?
because wasn't a tree board paying, we're planting trees and then between them and MPF, they're paying for them?
The tree board doesn't fund the trees.
They don't pay,
We
they
did, we
don't,
applied for a grant that we didn't get, okay, so it was a matching grant, but right now, the trees that are being planted in the historic district are either being paid by the village or through funds at MPF. The tree board does not generate, or
Okay,
has not yet,
So-
yes, we tried, we applied for a grant, we were denied it.
so it's still paid for by the tree board?
well, it's paid for
Well,
by the
as a-
village, and the tree board just basically makes a recommendation as to where a tree or what type. of
So
tree
they
is
don't
gonna be.
provide any, it was my understanding they provided funding for this.
No funding. A lot of good, hard labor they provide,
Aye.
good, honest work.
I thought, yeah, because you were,
not
MPF
consistent
was
with what I've
refunding
heard.
some of them, right,
Oh.
weren't they?
Yeah, MPF has this, a budget set aside every year to contribute to trees in the historic district.
Yeah.
And, we have a matching grant this year that we're almost at, of $2,500, so that'll be, $5,000. But the tree board did apply for a grant that we did not receive, but we have not, as of yet, generated any funds. We did have our Arbor Day thing, and that generated some funds that were directed to the matching grant at MPF. The down at 50 West.
Right,
Randy.
right, yeah.
But, so, any funds we would generate would go through MPF, let's put it that way.
And would circle back, I mean, to be spent on trees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the specific purpose of being spent on
Right,
trees.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, sorry about the confusion, I don't know where the confusion, but, yeah,
No, that's fine.
okay.
So we need a motion.
All right, a motion, please, and a second, pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, I think, Tony, we have our,
Yeah, we have a couple of reports tonight.
Couple
First
of
one
reports.
from the Finance Subcommittee regarding fiscal officer. Finance Subcommittee met on Wednesday, May 11th, 2022 at 3:45 PM to discuss the fiscal officer role for Marymount. Present at the meeting were Finance Subcommittee members Rob Bartlett, Kelly Rankin, and Randy York, and Mayor Bill Brown. Rich Ford, a consultant who has been helping the village in its transition to the UAN accounting system, has offered to become our part-time fiscal officer. Both Tony Borgening and Eli Wendler, in her assistant fiscal officer capacity, have previously announced their plans to step down by the end of this year. Mr. Ford would replace both of them. Attached is a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, on what tasks Mr. Ford would perform. Mr. Ford has been a fiscal officer for Mad River Township and for Emmanuel Christian Academy, and as such is very familiar with the responsibilities of a fiscal officer. Mr. Ford lives in Urbana, Ohio. As is laid out in the MOU, Mr. Ford will primarily work remotely, but he will be here at the village offices 2 times a month, including 1 council meeting per month. Ideally, Mr. Ford would start by June 1st. The agreement would be to pay Mr. Ford $5,000 a month through the end of this year, when hopefully things are in more of a going state. Mr. Ford is envisioning that initially this will require 20 hours per week, but over time that would go to 10 hours per week. Mr. Ford will track hours he works each week, and at the end of this year, an assessment will be made as to what an appropriate ongoing fee would be. We should also plan on for 2 to 4 months of overlap between Mr. Ford, Mr. Borgening, and Mrs. Wendler as they help Mr. Ford onboard into this role. As this is a part-time role, Mr. Ford would receive au pairs benefits, but he would not be on our health care plan or other benefits limited to full-time employees. At the beginning of the year, roughly $58,000 was pulled into the mayor's department, account 1000-710, to pay for a part year of a village administrator. It is looking unlikely that we will be able to fill that role or an operations officer role this year. As such, the finance subcommittee is recommending that the necessary funds be moved from the mayor's department to the clerk/treasurer department, 1000-725, to cover Mr. Ford's cost, less the reduced cost from Mr. Borgening and Ms. Wendler's not working for a full year. Appointing Mr. Ford as a fiscal officer and establishing his pay requires a resolution be passed by council, since we would like Mr. Ford to start by June 1. The resolution will need to be passed on an emergency basis. If council agrees with the recommendation to hire Mr. Ford under the MOU that is attached and pay him $5,000 a month through the end of this year, then the resolution will be voted on in the May 23rd council meeting. Respectively submitted and signed by Rob Bartlett, Chairman, Kelly Rankin, and Randy York.
Okay, you've heard the report. Motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Oh, second.
All right, Mr. Bartlett, well, no, discussion?
I just have a couple questions.
Sure.
I think I understand what you said about in more of a going state, being more up and running.
Yeah, he's sort of like getting up the learning curve right now.
Okay.
And he'll expect, he's estimated about 10 hours a week when he gets everything running on a normal basis, going basis.
Well, when he is up and more running, or the whole UAN system? or-
Well, the UAN is already up and running.
Okay, okay.
We started that last July, right?
Okay.
Was that
I-
July?
Yeah, I just didn't know how long a process it was.
Yeah.
So it's, okay.
So UAN is up and running, the payroll is up and running, Joni started that in January, so,
He just sort of has to get the lay of the land, get his,
Right.
Get his legs under him.
More from a
Exactly.
Tony and
Entity or,
Eli
um,
standpoint.
Okay, and then I just had another question. I'm not disputing it, but why the urgency of June 1st? Just get things going, rolling, or?
Well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say sooner rather than later, but with you again,
Kind of
Tony and Eli.
Because
also-
of the budget process that's going to be coming up in July, we really would like him to be actively participating in that.
All right, thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
It has to be submitted to the state in July, that's why Tony has that special meeting.
County in July.
Yeah, all right,
Sorry.
thanks.
We all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked a
Well
little bit
done.
with Rich, and he knows his stuff, so
He
it'll
does
be
know
good.
his stuff.
He does know
It'll
his
be really
stuff.
good.
Okay.
And if Joni says so, it must be true.
Must be true. Okay, on roll call. Mr. Bartlett,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, we'll accept that report. All right, Tony, one more, I believe.
Yes, Planning and Zoning and Economic Development Committee.
Can't do that.
Like, we can't read that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do that one on the 25th.
Okay, so then we gotta, I don't have any more.
Not anymore.
All right.
All right, moving on to miscellaneous then. For the umpteenth time, village offices will be closed in observance of Memorial Day, Monday, May the 30th. This year, of course, Memorial Day Parade will be held on Monday, May the 30th. I expect you all to be there. It's going to be a big parade. We're resurrecting the parade. It's going to be good. Okay, okay. It'll be getting started, maybe 8:30-ish, somewhere, starting down on Plainville, coming, parading up here to the building. It'll be good. Randy will be giving a speech. Village offices will be closed in observance of Independence Day, Monday, July the 4th.
Wow.
Oh, well, there's more.
Don't jinx it.
Village fireworks will be held at dusk on July the 4th. And we are having them on July the 4th. You got to remember that. July the 4th, having the fireworks. The budget hearing will be held Monday, July the 25th at 5:30. So that will be rousing. Y'all should be in for that one. And what are we referring here? Something we're referring to the Finance Committee, the liability insurance renewal policy. Have you looked at that?
Well, I mean, it's an annual thing.
It's an annual
So
thing.
it's-
Okay. Okay, we'll make a note of that to refer that.
Thank you, Joni.
You're welcome.
All right, looks like resolutions.
All right, a resolution for the Village of Marymount to establish policies and procedures concerning the naming and renaming of village property.
All right, that looks like the third reading here, huh? All right, so I need a motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Bartlett,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, we'll accept that one.
Next one.
Next one?
Resolution to enter into project agreement with Kate Albert Studio LLC.
Okay, that's the third reading. A motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right.
All right. Renewal of 3.5 mil tax levy in excess of 10 mil limitation for permanent improvements for the tax years of 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, and 2026.
All right, that's the first reading. We'll have the second reading in 3 weeks.
What?
Well, there's a 3-week break here coming, correct? Am I right?
Yeah,
Did I misspeak?
Yeah.
there's a couple of those that are here.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
Oh. What am I gonna do on my Monday nights?
You'll find something to do. All right, Tony, the
All right,
next one?
Resolution authorizing mayor to execute contract with A359 Partners in Architecture.
Okay, that's the first reading. I'll have the next reading. Ed, did you got, I don't want to talk about it right now, okay. Yeah, a couple of things have to fall into place on that just yet, but it's coming, it's coming.
All right, fixing a time for public hearing on the 2023 budget.
Okay, that's the first reading. We'll have that again in 3 weeks. And you
And-
can't do the last one?
We can have the first reading.
We can have the first reading, okay?
All right, to confirm the appointment of Richard Ford as village fiscal officer, to establish pay rate and to
Did you say
declare
yes or
emergency.
no?
Okay, no, sorry, Tony, we can have it, we can have it, yeah.
All right, to confirm the appointment of Richard Ford as village fiscal officer to establish pay and to declare emergency.
Okay, well, that, we're not having the
We're
emergency.
not having the emergency.
That was the first reading, and we will have the second and third reading on Wednesday.
Okay.
6.
At 6, Wednesday at 6.
So that's when we could tweak the little, I'm sorry I didn't get back to you because I was off, but yeah, there's a little tweak I'd just like to propose. I can do that.
And the Richard Ford thing? Yeah, that's fine.
I'll do it then. Got it.
Okay, are we done tweaking? The amendments?
Ordinances, first one.
Yeah, it's like, don't. say
To
that
amend
word.
section 151 of the Marymount Code of Ordinances, fences and walls.
Okay. Fences and walls, that's the third reading of that. Motion and a second on that to accept, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
Okay. All right,
Next one.
yes, the
To
next one.
amend chapter 152 of the Marymount Code of Ordinances, rental dwellings and units.
Okay, I think we're going to amend this
We are
one.
going to tweak this one.
Okay.
You're not done tweaking yet, Bill.
On this one, we're going to tweak
No,
more?
no, I'm just saying, he was hoping we were done tweaking.
Yeah.
but-
I don't know.
Someone needs to make a motion to amend the ordinance as previously written to add provisions in 152.02B, 152.05, and 152.08. And on my copy that we sent over to you guys, it was highlighted. Were they highlighted? Because on the
Okay.
copy I got off the website, or in my packet, it wasn't highlighted for some reason.
I send it to them separately highlighted.
Please?
I send it to them separately
Great,
highlighted.
so you guys know what the modifications are. They're pretty innocuous. I've got to give Randy York just a ton of credit on this thing. He worked with the apartment owners pretty closely to make sure we did everything that they wanted within reason. Many of the things they wanted, very candidly, was just they were opposed to the ordinance in itself, not so much what was in it, but the fact that it was an ordinance. But we answered all their questions, and I'll just tell you, in 152.02, we just added a provision, we'll give them a temporary permit if there's some issues that needed to be corrected, and they needed time to correct those. We agreed we'd even extend it longer than was originally in there if it was unless it was a life safety issue.
Yeah, I think I think like, as long as they made a good faith effort.
Right.
to-
Yeah.
Because, Rob, we only gave them 30 days.
Yeah, thank you, Ed, for that. 'cause this is
Up to
really
90
helpful to see
days
those
if
changes.
they're
Right.
making a good
Good
faith
faith,
effort.
yeah.
And then the application fee, we're reducing the application fee a little bit if it's a multifamily dwelling as opposed to a single family or single apartment unit. And then we just changed some times for appeals in the nonconformance section. Nothing real major. And I will, again, I have to give Randy so much credit for this, because we tried real hard to make this thing the first 2 times around to be, acceptable to the apartment owners. I think we've done that, and I don't think there should be anything in here they should be against. And again, Mark Temming has been here, and Mark, he's been very active in this. He pointed out some things in the original email to us, Randy, where he said, well, that flies in the face of the Portsmouth case. But it did not fly in the face of the Portsmouth case, because we're going about doing everything we need to do. We'll get the administrative search warrant when and if we feel it's appropriate. And very candidly, I just have a feeling, this is just my own personal feeling, we're not going to be applied for many administrative search warrants, especially for the people that have been here, because I think they've shown everyone that they're pretty good about maintaining their properties and not worried. True?
Yeah, I feel good about what we've done. I think we've accommodated
Right.
a lot of their requests, and I think we brought this up. We have to balance, our desire to let them do business with our responsibility to the tenants. And I think this is a fair ordinance. I think we tweaked it quite a bit based upon their input, and I think once we get into practice, I think we'll know. We're going to know very quickly if this is a burden, if it's manageable or not. I believe it is, but, we'll learn together.
That's right. So, does somebody make that motion to amend as I just babbled on about?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Well, everybody understood it, right? I mean, you're all, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mrs. Rankin?
Aye,
Mr. York?
Aye.
Okay, so it'll be amended as
like
stated?
Ed said.
Scott's right.
Okay.
Recite
Now I
that
need a motion and a second to accept
approve-
it
accept it.
as amended.
Right, there you go.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right.
All right.
Are we on the,
Next one is to amend ordinance O-11-22 of the Marymount Code of Ordinances to increase payment for employees.
okay, that's the second reading. Any discussion?
Nope.
No?
Just
here.
good work on this.
Yeah. All right, Tony, last
Okay.
one? Uh-huh.
To amend section 151.087, permitted obstructions in required yards.
All right, that's the third reading. Motion and a second to
So
accept.
moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, that will be accepted.
We did that last, related to your tasks.
We're not doing this. And we did it last week.
Right. So, and we're missing 2 of the people to do the committee things, so.
So any parting closing remarks?
I got another check.
Okay.
So this is the $2,800 to reimburse for the Choice One
Oh,
work that they're doing.
that's good.
So that's from the nonprofit again, that's the
Okay.
nonprofit that Joe helped pull together, Joe Stelzer.
Okay.
And so that's to reimburse, because we approved at the last council meeting to pay it. So now that it's been paid, he's going ahead and sent us the check to reimburse for those costs.
Excellent, that's great.
So who's organizing the parade? You?
No, Lauren does that, right?
Well, Lauren and I mean,
Okay.
kind of together, and I mean, the chief obviously is involved in it as well, and Steve Watt is involved in it. I got a lot of people involved in it, yeah. Want to have a big, good parade, yeah, for everybody. All right, we're last call for checks. Anybody want to give a check?
Check, money, cash is good,
down.
Venmo, any of it.
All right, we're adjourned.
That's a record.
That's what I'm talking about, 7:15.
Yeah. That gets
Here you go, Tony.
Thank you. Wow.
Is that A359?
Somebody-
Maureen?